Hey traders, obviously silver and gold time, or gold and silver time. We're also going to be looking at some of the mining indexes as well too, guys. We're going to be looking at the short-term picture, and also, guys, I think what I'll do in this video here, forget what I just said about the short term. Let's actually have a look at the big picture, what's going on right now, and where I think things are going. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty. So guys, let's start off with the good old gold. Right now we're looking at the gold daily charts. By the way, I'm using TradingView right now for this here. I'm just doing it because I just did a Bitcoin and stuff like that, a crypto market update. So therefore I'm using this video here. The thing that I'm seeing right now, guys, in gold is quite interesting. Firstly, we're almost at what I call X marks the spot in this selling leg down. The first, what we call first level here, and I actually talk a lot about this in that $7. I'm running a flash sale right now, guys, to my trading course. It's like 10 videos long, about 12 hours long, chart reading, a couple of different trading systems. Only $7, johnsflashsale.com, or there should be a link in the description. Go get it. But I talk a lot about this in the course here. But this X marks the spot here, where you have a couple of main lines coming back together. Now, guys, just because they come back together doesn't mean they're going to hold the market. The market can do what it wants to do, but it gives us an interesting level when we're looking at the market. So we have this major low level down here, and we have this major low level down here, and we have this major low level. But let's notice how we're actually having a bit of support right now when it comes to gold. But when I open up my charts a lot more, open up, look at that there. We also have this major low technique here, major low technique here. Get that into you. Major low technique there. We have a major low here which found support. And now we're almost at that level here. So even if we had a little bit more drop to the downside, we've got like X marks the spot when it comes to gold. Now, guys, that could either mean two things. And this is obviously always the hardest thing, right? Is it going to bounce, or is it going to, are we going to continue having a flush past that? I see one ultimate scenario: higher prices. How we get to all-time new highs in gold. Big boom, it's coming when it comes to gold, I truly believe. How we get that, no idea. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay, John, thanks for the intelligent education you're giving us. I'm just so much smarter listening to your market updates. Right, so my two brain cells, guys, are trying to focus on what to say next. Two brain cells. So the reason why I say that is that because there's a few different scenarios that I see playing out. I don't know how they're going to play out. All I believe is that by the end of this year, we're going to see an all-time new high gold. That's all. I don't know whether we're going to drop down right now, because we can. Because what happens sometimes is the market flushes down. Guess what? To flush all those weak hands out, and then we start to see something like that, and then it starts to make a big move. It's like, oh man, I got stopped out. Come on, guys. I'm sure you've been there before, right? It flushes past the support level, or get your stop, run your stop, and then the market takes off. It's like, oh, you son of a beep, 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 beep. Me, this guy, right? So we can see what's going on. That's either this one situation, or the second situation is that we're getting very close to a bottom, and then we see something like this, and then it starts to pick back up. I'm probably more in the camp of number one. Why? Because the market's probably pulling back. Cryptos are getting top heavy. So it looks like we're going to go through a bit of a deflationary period. But after the deflationary period, I believe we're going to get, that's going to be the final crack in gold before we start to see a big move up. Just like we did back here. Notice how we got a big crack. Big. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bam, 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 bam. All the way down. All the way down. And then we had this, and then what we had is that we had this big move all the way down, and then that was the flash crash last year in March. Before what? Before we start to see a massive move to the upside when it comes to the good old gold. So that's what I'm seeing there, guys, with gold. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a lot more upward prices, and obviously that's where I see things are going, because we're still in a very big bull market here, guys, as you can see. Very, very, very big bull market, but now we're actually just having a very deep pullback out of this. But never fear, I believe all times are almost here. Sorry, never fear, I believe almost all-time new high is here. Whatever. Let's go to silver. Guys, and when it comes to these triangle patterns, these patterns and stuff like that, in that flash sale that I'm running at johnsflashsale.com, if you go there, you can get it just for $7 just to help you guys out. One of the things that I really focus on when it comes to that is really just focusing on what the chart is telling you. We can see there's these trend lines and stuff like that, but the most important part is to learn how to read the markets, and that's like trend analysis and the stuff that I've been talking about in today's video as well too. The really interesting thing that I'm noticing about silver is that we are right at a significant long-term level of support on this weekly charts. We're definitely sort of very, 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 very sort of squeezed up into a triangle pattern. Now, I don't believe we are going to make I don't believe we're going to go, if we do get a drop down, it's probably only going to be short-lived, and then we see big moves up. So just like with gold, I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't need to know. But if I say, you know what, I'm putting a position on silver because I know probably by 2022, for me and you, and actually, by the way, guys, I've got positions in gold and silver, and I have a 2025 view. And my 2025 view is that we see by 2025, I have a prediction, and this prediction may be flying out of my rear end right now, but don't sue me, bro. I see a triple digit silver, and I think that's triple. 1, 2, 3 is triple. Yes, I'm just getting my two brain cells are just trying to work out here. And I also see by that time, by 2025, guys. Okay, so this is a long-term investing strategy. So it's like you're investing in anything, right? If you're investing in something, you generally have a long-term view. The problem with investing is that if you get very scared about a short-term movement over, say, a couple of months or even 3, 4, 5 months, guess what? You shouldn't be worried about that. The big successful investors do well because guess what? They have a 2, 3, 4, 5 year view, sometimes longer, and they just weather through the storm. It's just like people that have bought Bitcoin, right? When people bought Bitcoin at 100, they said, you know what? I'm holding this for 10 years, 20 years. And it went up to 20,000, then it went back down to 3,000. Now it's gone up almost to 60, and it's probably going to go back down to 20. And then it's probably going to go back to 100. You see what I'm saying? But the end of the story is that you make more money by holding on to big long-term trends and enduring going through these swings. So the purpose of me telling you that is, for me personally, I have money in gold right now and silver. Most of it is actually in gold. And I do see that this pullback here is getting ready for a rocket ship to the upside. Now, when's rocket ship going to start to fuel? When's good old Elon Musk going to start to fuel that rocket ship so we start to see hockey stick action? Well, guys, we are looking at a weekly chart, so things do take time. That's why you've got to invest smartly and give yourself time. That's why 2025, guys. 2025 is that year for me that I see that we're likely to see a 10,000 gold and also $100 silver. But that's investing, guys. Okay, if you don't have the patience to invest, then learn how to trade the markets. And again, johnsflashsale.com, just $7. It was like 500 or something, but now I'm just dropping it just to help you guys out because you guys need some help here. And there's some things that really help me. And one thing when it comes to trading, right, have some patterns that you believe in. And again, in that trading course, I give you 2 amazing systems, which are just generally amazing patterns that you can trade with and you can do really, really well with as well too. So I see that happening with gold and this all-time new high here. One thing that I've noticed back over time, you can probably see my arrows, and I've talked about this in the past, but one thing you'll see is, notice back here, notice this here, and this is why I believe once we start to pick up on an upward leg, this is why I believe we are about to see some incredible moon action after a bit of shake and bake deflationary period. Okay, so that's right, I'm seeing a bit of a deflationary period continue to happen in the miners and metals. Short term, that's cool, right? But long term, I see big moves. And why do I say that? Look at this here. Back in the past, We had this ultimate high point, didn't we? And then we dropped for quite some time. When we dropped for quite some time, and then we actually broke this all-time new high. Look what happened. We ran up, made a high, came down, made a higher low. So as we picked up through here, guess what? We went for what? A big move up to where? Ultimate high point. And then we went back down again for quite some time. And then we didn't go anywhere near the high point for quite some time. Before, guess what? Let me just zoom right in now. Before it got to where? Right here. Do you see that point there? Now guess what happened? The exact same thing that happened back here. We ran up to all-time new highs, higher low, and then we bounced off. Broke to all-time new highs, came down, created a higher low, and then we took off like a rocket. So where we are right now is the exact same situation. So what do you think once we start to get that higher low? All right, we broke what? We broke the previous high. We had the big dip, just like we did 3 times in the past. We had a what? We had a big pullback. If we start, or when we start to get something like that, I wonder what's going to come for the next few years. Well, if history repeats itself, this back here, this was the high. It made a higher high, then a higher low, and once it got back up to the previous high, here, guess what? We went for a big bull move. So once we do that, we're probably likely to see a big bull move out of that. So that's what I'm seeing with there, guys. I hope this helps you out. This is my big long-term view. As I said, tomorrow, guys, don't shoot the messenger because we could be down tomorrow, up tomorrow. Who cares, teddy bears, all right? You shouldn't be worried about what's going on with that. If you are, then you should be focusing. If you're a short-term trader, have a pattern. Again, go to johnsflashsale.com and you'll get that just for $7, and you'll get a couple of good trading systems if that's what you're after. But if you're investing, leave your knickers in the drawer. Leave your mouse at the window. Throw your mouse out the window. Take your laptop. Put in the pool. Flush the pool. Come back in 5 years time frame. That's probably where you're going to do much better anyway. But just by doing that, not even looking at the markets. Anyway, guys, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. I actually have a $10,000 target for gold. What's your target for gold? And also silver. I have a $100 target. And one of the reasons why, not only technically am I seeing what I just showed you on gold, but massive inflation is coming, and we're about to see all tides rising, cryptos, markets, and I believe metals, miners, and especially commodities.